Okay. Yes, Caitlin.
If we want to run out of room on this, do you want us to flip on the back or the new sheet?
No, flip on the back. Yes, please. Yep. All right, so I'm going to check lesson 20. And test 2 is just out so that I can collect that. That's okay, don't worry about it. Actually, it helps me if they're not stapled, because then I have to unstaple them all. It's really fun for me. All right, so lesson 20 begins on page 120. That's what I want to see. 100 on that one. Very nice. 100 on that one. You can finally wear it, sort of. Very nice. 100 on that.
What's the journal?
Diagram no sentences. You just glazed over the diagramming part. All right, so you'll have to take pictures of that. And I also need to see last week's because you were out. Okay. Very nice. Oh, I'll come around to the other side. Yeah, 100 on it. Collect that in just a second. Yes, I do. Very nice. 100 on that. You guys rock and roll with your homework. Very good. Now I got homework. Very good for me. How are we doing on these sentences? These should be pretty easy, right? Do we have any volunteers to put them up here on the board? Anyone? Anyone? Nobody? You want me to draft people? Laura, come and do whichever one you want. I will wash them right for you. There you go. Anybody else? Laura, come up. Whichever one you want, just don't do the same one. You've got one. Okay. All right. Somebody else? Thank you, AC. All right. So the dog is taken. The cat is taken. Turtle and the possum. Which one are you going to do, AC?
The possum.
Possum. All right. The turtle. Poor turtle. Nobody wants to do the turtle. Poor turtle. Andrew, do you have the turtle? Would you put that one up, please? There you go. Now your hands get to smell like Clorox. Here they go.
I forgot my yellow Sharpie.
You mean your highlighter?
Yeah.
Actually, is this it here?
What does it look like this?
I think so.
Do you want us to diagram like my?
No, don't worry about that. Is it a pin in
Wait,
here?
yeah,
Yeah, it was under your chair last week. There you go.
Are we doing like the
No, not the his. Don't worry about the his.
No, like the
The direct object.
What is it called?
The gerund.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's what you guys were gonna say, right? The gerund, the ing. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yep. All right, what's your verb in there?
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew. Yeah.
Andrew.
On the verb, it goes on the, you're going to put it on the other side of turtle. Yep. Right, and
Would be no.
yes, that's right. That's right. I know you know it. I know you know it. I don't mean to make you nervous. Look at it so they have. There you go. Good. All right, so let's check. Let's do the dog, the cat. Let's do the cat. Cat eats cheese. This one is correct. This is what yours should look like. Yep. Subject, verb, direct object. Dog likes TV. Dog likes TV. Subject, verb, direct object. This is what yours should look like. This is good. Turtle enjoys climbing. We'll get rid of the direct object. It stops right there at that line. There you go. And it's a gerund. So you have your little Egyptian gerund thing happening there. And possum can help. What do we do with this cook? It looks like it's a verb, right? But it's not acting as the verb in that sentence. Anytime you see what looks like a verb, but it's not the verb in a sentence, then you've got a verbal. We've talked about two, the gerunds and the infinitives. We've got an infinitive right here. So the possum can help. This top. There we go. Okay. All right. And this is a direct object. That was a sneaky one, wasn't it? So it's an infinitive. So it goes on this. To cook. That was a sneaky one there. It's an infinitive. All right. Sound good? Okay. If you will unclip that, leave it on the side. I'm going to make sure your name, double check right now that your name is on the journal. I'm going to collect those. That's part of your participation grade. So next week in October, which is nuts, here we are in October, you'll start a new, brand new sheet of notebook paper for October journals. All right. So here's where we're going today. We're going to do vocabulary quiz 7 coming up just a second. We'll review your grammar from last week. Those were the infinitives, the phrases and the clauses, and the direct object. We'll review those. And then we'll start in on the lessons for today. Today we're going to yellow highlighter, which is the adjective. All right, so today's lessons, we talk about the adjective, diagramming the adjective, and we're going to talk about more capital letters. You'll take a break in our writing for this afternoon. We're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about using your 5 senses in your writing, and the 5-paragraph essay. All right, bye-bye are the days when all you get to write is a paragraph. So long, that was so last week. From here on out, people, 5-paragraph essays. We're going to start off with a good, easy topic, and we'll talk about that for writing today. All right? Let's say a prayer. We'll ask the Lord to bless our time, and then we'll jump right into the quiz. Would any of you like to pray for our time together? Thanks, AC. Go ahead.
Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day that you've made, and thank you that we could all meet here, and please help us that we would be able to learn and use it well, and in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, AC. All right, so you got another sheet of notebook paper ready to go for the vocabulary quiz number 7. Go ahead and get it set up, and I'll show you definitions in just a second. sure that you can take a picture of all of this and just send to me. More homework for me. I'm like racking up today. We ready? Okay, here we go. All right, match them up. I'll take it if you're all done. On the board is where we're going to start. On the board is where we're going to start. So when I have your quiz, on the board is where we're going to start. Everybody, I believe. All right, we're going to start page 112. You need your highlighters and a pencil. All right, so let's review just a little bit. All right, so page 112, we were talking about the what, everybody? Infinitive, the infinitive. It's a verbal, which means that it looks like a verb, but it is not the action in a sentence. And there's usually a giveaway to let you know that it's an infinitive. And what is that word? That small word that goes with it? To. Sometimes it's not in the sentence. Remember, the possum can help cook. All right, that was a tricky one. That was an infinitive. And that to was hiding out, all right, but it was still an infinitive, all right. How do we know with the possum? Because what is the action in that sentence? The action was helping, right? To cook is helping what? To cook, all right. So to cook was the direct object there. All right, what are the infinitives in these sentences? The first one, to have laughed would have helped him. What's the infinitive? To have laughed. Those three words together. To have laughed. This is the subject of the sentence. It doesn't look like a subject, does it? Yeah. But this is it. It's an infinitive. Okay? What about this one? She tried to laugh at the movie. To laugh. Right here. To laugh. All right. I want you to diagram this one. Stop here, though. She tried to laugh. Just right there in your book. Right there in the margin, somewhere, page 112. You've got some room over there on the side. Diagram, she tried to laugh. She tried to laugh. She tried to laugh. So we have an infinitive here because she is not laughing in the sentence. She's trying. So trying is your verb. To laugh is the infinitive. All right, so does your sentence look like these? Is this what you have? And words in there? What do you have here? She. Here. Tried. And then to laugh. To laugh. All right, there you go. What is this part of speech right here? We talked about them last week. That's a direct object. Right. All right, turn to page 117. Page 117. Phrases and clauses. Can someone tell us the difference between a phrase and a clause? How do you know which one is which? AC.
A clause has the subject and the predicate, and the phrase it does not have both of them.
Right, it'll have one or the other, right? That's right. And remember, the way to remember that, a clause has both, right? So that B and C together in the alphabet, and so that's how you can remember the clause has both. So we have some examples here. Because of the cat, because the cat chased the bird. Which one of these is the phrase? Number one or number two? Number one. Yes. And what is the subject and verb in number two? Cat chased. Right. So this has both. So this would be a clause. All right. So here's a tricky, sneaky question. One of these could be a complete sentence, number one or number two. But you have to change something about it to make it complete. It is almost complete. Which one is it? Number two. All you need to do to make number two complete is what? Yes. If you take this away, bye-bye, because throw it out. The cat chased the bird would be a complete sentence, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. Very good. Now, let's go to page 123. Let's review those direct objects. Page 123. So here is how you know you have a direct object. You ask yourself 3 questions. Rose, what's the first question you ask yourself? What is the verb? Now, we've talked about 2. Everybody, what are they? Action and linking. Right, action and linking. So you ask yourself, what is the verb? Number 1. Number 2, Josh, what's the second question you ask yourself? It's right over here.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, number 2.
The potato looks nervous.
No.
Is it an action?
Is it an action verb? Why is that important to ask yourself that? Because linking verbs don't have a direct object. Yeah. So, what is the verb? Is it action? And then, who or what receives the action? And whoever that who or what is, that is your direct object. All right. Number 1. The potato watches the hot water. Number 2. The potato looks nervous. Number 3. The potato tells his potato friends. Number 4. The potatoes try to escape. All right, so for number 1, 2, 3, and 4, here's what I want you to do, just somewhere in the margin. All right, so you're going to number 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4. For each one, I want you to ask yourself those 3 questions. What is the verb? Is it action or linking? And then, what is the direct object? So you're going to tell me what the verb is, and if it's an action verb, tell me what the direct object is. Not all of these have an action verb. 1 or 2 may have a linking verb. So you're going to look at those 4. Tell me what is the verb for all 4. And then if it's an action verb, I want you to tell me what the direct object is. Okay? Take a moment to do that. These poor potatoes. But don't worry, they try to escape. Don't you think they're successful? Not at McDonald's, they're not. They get dumped into that hot oil and they taste real good. Those potatoes taste awesome. Yes?
Is it, so who or what receives the action? So is it the potato tells his potato friends? Is it the potato friend? Is it the friends or the potato?
That's a terrific question. When we get to number 3, remember that. That's a great question. Yeah. Just 30 seconds and we'll talk about these together. Now we all want French fries. You're welcome. We have another hour of class to go. No French fries for you in sight. I just want you to be thinking about them. All right, number 1, what is the verb? It's watches. Is it action or linking? It's action. Is there a direct object? Yes, what is it? Water. Yeah. The and hot are describing the water. We're going to talk about that with the magnificent yellow adjectives today. Number 2, what is the verb? Looks. Is it action or linking? Linking. No direct object when you have a linking verb. Number 3, what is the verb? Tells. Is it action or linking? It's action. All right, so the potato tells who? Friends. Yeah, so it would be friends in this sentence. His and potato are describing the friends. They're telling you what kind of friends. Potato friends, of course, when you're a potato. All right, number 4, what is the verb? Try. Is it action or linking?
Action.
It's action. All right, what's the direct object? To escape. It's an infinitive. Yes. They try what? They try to escape. So this is an infinitive. To infinitive and beyond. There it is. All right? Sound good?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's go to the table of contents. We've got pink and 2 yellow today. Pink and 2 yellow. We've not used yellow before. Let's welcome yellow to the party. Welcome yellow to the party, yes. Today we're going to start adjectives. Adjectives are yellow. So we're going to do capitals. Another lesson in capital letters, that's going to be pink. And 2 in adjectives, and those will begin yellow. Yellow. Yellow does not want to be left out. Pink and 2 yellow. All right, when you get done on the table of contents, we're going to start on page 129. Page 129. Page 129. I will get to the website. All of these class notes are on the website in the folder. both going to do this again. Hooray. All right. Yes. Fine with that. Success. All right. Try it again. Are you on page 129? Ready to rock and roll? Some capitals? You got your pink ready to go? Pink, 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 pink. Here we go. All right, week 8, people. Here we go. All right, capital letters. Capital letters. All right, so here we have, we're going to talk about people titles, family words, and school subjects. All right, so there's 3 words here in the vocabulary box. They all sort of look similar. They're all related to each other. Here they are. All right, so we have judicial, jurisdiction, and judicious. And you know what, let me actually, hold on, I'll come back to that. I actually have these better. Let me go here. Ooh. Hold on, I'll come back. I have this better. This is 22. Is this 22? Yes, okay. Maybe we can get those better. There they are. Aha. That is what I was looking for. All right, there they are, kind of in yellow. All right, so there's your 3. Judicial, jurisdiction, and judicious. All of them have something to do with the court. The court. The court. There's a good voice there. All right. So there you go. Let's review the capitals. All right, so there are 7 here that we've already talked about. All right, so there are 7. So I put that over on the side, and then I numbered these. We've already talked about 7 of these that we've done capital letters for before. You have capital letters for common nouns that are capitalized when they're part of a proper noun. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about capital letters in an outline. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about capital letters, first word of a sentence. Number 4, the first word of every line of poetry. That's number 4. Number 5, the pronoun I. It's very small here. The pronoun I. Always capitalize the pronoun I. Number 6, the first word in a direct quotation is capital. And number 7, the important words in a title, capital. All right, there's the 7 that we talked about before for review. Now, these are new. Let's talk about the titles with people. All right, so oftentimes these are abbreviations. I'm sure you've seen these before. So you capitalize initials if they're, standing for a person's name. You capitalize titles when they're with a person's name. The first one up at the top, M.E. Bradford. Let's see, this guy right here. Right there. That is standing, those are initials for someone's name. M.E. So we capital that. All right. And then these, like Dr., Mr. and Mrs., again, abbreviations. And then we have, here are some titles. General, Reverend, Senator, King, Aunt, or Aunt. All right, so we would capital those words when they are with a name. All right, now King all by itself is probably not capitalized. King with a name is. Aunt all by itself or aunt is not capitalized. But when you put your aunt's or aunt's name, then you capitalize it. All right? Family names. family names. All right. So here in the box, family words like father, mother, grandmother, grandfather. If they are used instead of the person's name, you capitalize it. But when they are with words like my, your, his, our, or their, you don't capitalize it. And then here's the examples for that right here. Okay? So here, dad is capitalized because it's like you're using that instead of his name. All right? Like if your dad's name was Charlie. Hey, Charlie, did you watch the news this morning? Okay? But you would not say, I asked my Charlie if he watched the news this morning. So here, we do not capitalize that. Okay? Same with grandmother. If your grandmother's name is Frankie. That was my grandmother's name. All right. Grandmother all by itself, capital letter. Her with it, no more capital letter. You wouldn't say her Frankie. That sounds kind of silly. Although I would like the new biscuit recipe. That does sound good. All right. And one more, school subjects up at the top. School subjects, page 130 up at the top. One more little thing here. So when the name of a school subject comes from a proper noun, then you capitalize it. And here are the examples of that right there. Hebrew, Greek, Mandarin. All right? These would not be capitalized. Government, biology, computer programming. Those school subjects would not need to be capitalized. Okay? All right. Let's do some practice. So with your pink, A, B, C, and D, you're going to capitalize, or just highlight what should be capitalized in those sentences. Just take your pink and highlight what should be capitalized. That's a squishy sound. Squishy squish. We ready to go? This is easy, right? All right, letter A. What should be capitalized? English. Latin. Yep. Letter B. What should be capitalized? Dad. Yep. Social studies, no. Social studies, no, because it wouldn't be capitalized in and of itself. Social and studies. All right. What about letter C? Mary, J, Davison, Pastor, Hugh Williamson. Yeah, a lot of capitals in this one. There you go. What about letter D? No, not father, because we've got his with it. Remember, you wouldn't say his Charlie, right? So no on that. Colonel Garza. Frying up some eggplant. Good for him. All right, and the social studies, that was actually a good point. Some of you probably highlighted that as well, but because it is not capital in and of itself, you wouldn't capitalize it. Remember up here with the subject, it comes from a proper noun already. All right, so Hebrew, Greek, and Mandarin, all of those are already proper nouns. Government is not. Government is a common noun. All right, so you wouldn't capitalize that if that was, the class, all right, or the subject, all right? And it's the same with social studies. Okay, it's not already capitalized. It's not a proper noun, so we don't capitalize it there. All right? Very good. Very good. All right, so let's go on No, let's not. Let's go to page 133 real quick. 133. 133 real quick. All right. Let's diagram number 29 right here. Diagram just number 29. Just number 29. You should have a subject, you've got a verb, and you've got a direct object there, right? Yeah. What's your subject there, number 29?
You.
You. What's your verb?
Have.
Have, with a capital letter because it's the first word.
Try.
Try. There it is, yep. What's the direct object? What kind of word is that? It's a gerund. What gave it away? The ing. All right, do a little Egyptian walk on that one. And there it goes. Okay. All right. Good to go? All right. Let's talk about some adjectives. Let's talk about some adjectives. You got yellow ready to go? All right. So here we go, up at the top, yellow. These are descriptive and proper adjectives. Descriptive and proper adjectives. So here we always start off with your vocabulary. Again, there's 3. They're all very, very similar. They all are terms that you would find in the Constitution. Okay, I think this is pronounced appellate, apportion, and appropriation. Wow. Appropriation. So 3. 3 for you to look at. Remember, on the website, we have Quizlet. You can go to the Quizlet website. Just look for the green folder. And I have all of these words in folders on Quizlet so that they can help you study with these for these vocab tests. All right, adjectives. Here it is down at the bottom. This is a review. You know what these are. You've seen these before. All right, so a general description here. An adjective, it describes a person, place, or a thing. Remember that Schoolhouse Rock? It's linked in the folder if you would like to watch it. We don't have time to watch it today in class, but I did find it on YouTube and I linked it in the folder if you want to relive elementary school. It's in there for you to watch. All right. So here we have a definition. Adjectives, they describe a person, place, or thing. All right, so we're going to talk about limiting adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, and possessive. All right, so here we go. Let's start with descriptive adjectives. All right, so generally, here we go again. They describe a person, place, or thing. They answer the question, what kind? What kind? Most of the time, often, the adjective will come before whatever it's describing. Most of the time it will. All right? Sometimes it comes after the noun or pronoun it's describing. And here's an example of that. The writers of the Constitution, brilliant and cooperative. So there the adjectives are after the writers, which is what they're describing. Okay? And sometimes your adjectives will end in suffixes like these. And I highlighted these because it's good to be familiar with the suffixes that can turn a noun into an adjective. All right, so here they are at the bottom of page 134, and these are at the top of the next page. So we have able, al, full, able, and at the top of page 135, ik, iv, less, ush, e. All right, so here they are. These suffixes that will make a regular old noun oftentimes turn it into an adjective. Okay? All right, so here are some examples. The adjective is highlighted in yellow, and the noun it is describing is highlighted in orange. So this is just practice in using your yellow and orange here. Yellow and orange. So religious tests. Religious tests. Religious is yellow. There's the adjective. Tests is the noun. So that is in orange. This is just highlighting practice. I just want to make sure you get good with yellow and orange. Yellow are your adjectives. Orange are your nouns. Here in B, we have supreme law. Supreme is your adjective. That is in yellow. And law is your noun. That is in orange. In C, we have two sets. We have federal law, state law. All right, so just yellow and orange. Yellow for your adjectives, orange for your nouns. All right, proper adjectives. Let's talk about proper adjectives. So, if an adjective can be both. It can be common or it can be proper. It could be both. And just like your common nouns, your common adjectives are not capitalized. So here are some examples down here. Your common noun, democracy. The common adjective for that, democratic. Okay? Common adjectives are not capitalized. All right? Proper adjectives are. All right, so at the top of page 136, here we have proper adjectives, and those do get capital letters. So, for example, you have the proper noun, New Jersey. The proper adjective, New Jersey Turnpike. You would capitalize New Jersey there as well. All right? Easter is a proper noun. It's naming a holiday. Easter basket. You capitalize Easter there as well. Proper noun, also a proper adjective. All right? And then sometimes the proper adjective changes. So, for example, if the proper noun was France, you wouldn't say France restaurant. You would say French. So sometimes you'd have to change that proper adjective a little bit because the proper noun doesn't make sense with it. You wouldn't say Spain restaurant. It's a Spanish restaurant, right? You wouldn't say Canada goose, Canadian goose. Right? So sometimes you got to change the word a little bit for the proper adjective. All right, and then just some examples of that here in the middle. Roman architecture. Roman, your adjective. Architecture, your noun. This is just practicing getting your orange and your yellow right. American way. American, your adjective. Way, the noun. Thai, food. Jeffersonian philosophy. And let's do some practice. So A, B, and C, and then there's one little one up at the top, D, top of page 137. All right, so just take your yellow and highlight your descriptive and proper adjectives. Highlight the descriptive and proper adjectives in those sentences. Let's also do E. So we'll come down to E. E and F. So for E and F, you're going to write two adjectives for those nouns. E and F. There's two nouns. You write an adjective that would describe that noun, those nouns. And then we'll do G and H. Now you're going to write a noun. You're given the adjectives. For G and H, you write a noun. And you can stop there. Ooh, that yellow is really light on there, isn't it? Okay, let's go back up to A. All right, back up to A. All right, so what are the adjectives that you've highlighted here?
Responsible.
All right, so responsible, comprehensive. There is an article in there. What is it?
Article.
Oh, Article 6, I guess. I would put Article 6 together. Just keep it as the noun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would keep this as the noun. I thought you were talking about that right here.
Mm-hmm.
That technically, we're about to talk about it, would be an adjective. B, what are your adjectives? British, French, American. All right. C. Yes, actually, all is correct. We're about to talk about why. National. Yep. Absolute. Yeah, just absolute. It's describing authority. There's the noun. It's describing. What about D? Yep, Veterans Day. Celebration, honor. No, not all in this case. Yes, because this is the action verb. Action. This is your action verb right here. Honored. Honored who? All. So all would be the direct object there, yeah. All right, E. What are some adjectives for judge? Just start calling them out. What did you guys get? Well, huge? Harsh. Okay, I thought somebody said huge. I went, yeah, I guess it could be a huge judge. Yeah.
Strict.
Strict. Fair. Yeah, those are good. What about candidate? Polite. Determined. Outspoken. What else? Honest. What about a noun for African here? Culture. What else? Elephant, yes. Baskets, yes. All right, what about a noun for Thanksgiving? Turkey. Thanksgiving feast. Day. Week. Parade, yes, very good. You guys are awesome. Awesome job. All right. Let's talk more about adjectives. Go to page 140. You're almost there. You're almost there. One more lesson to go. Woohoo! You guys are doing great. Hang in there. All right, here we go at the top. All right, so now we'll talk about more adjectives in just a moment. This is a lesson 24. Lesson 24. And hooray! Only 2 vocabulary this time. Both of these relate because they both have the root lev, which means to lighten or raise. So both of these vocabulary words have something to do with lighten or raise. Alleviate, levity. So those are your vocabulary. Look for those in the green folder. I'll put them together in a green folder. You can study on Quizlet to help with your vocabulary test or quiz. All right, the limiting adjectives, here they are. These limit a noun. And by that it means they tell which one, what kind, how many, or whose. All right, that's what that means. They limit. All right, the limiting nouns. All right, so for example, articles. Articles. There's only 3, a, an, and the. Those are considered adjectives. And as a review, remember a is before consonant sounds and before words that have a vowel sound. Okay, just a review there. A, an, and the, those are considered adjectives. All right, there are the 3 articles. All right. We also have these 2, bottom of page 140. Demonstrative adjectives will tell which one. And you should highlight these. This, those, that, these. This, those, that, and these. Those are considered adjectives. Numbers are also adjectives. They tell you how many. How many? 2, 7, 9, 10, whatever the number is, if it's in front of a noun, it's an adjective. All right, at the top of page 141, possessive adjectives. This will tell you whose. So, for example, you can have pronouns that answer whose, like his opinion, their argument, its, my, her, our, your. So all of those are pronouns, but when they come right in front of a noun, they're acting as adjectives. All right? When you diagram them as adjectives because they are describing a noun. And you can also have nouns that are possessive. So, for example, remember possessive has an apostrophe S. Hamilton's beliefs. Hamilton's beliefs. In this little example, Hamilton's is acting like an adjective. It's telling what or whose beliefs. Hamilton's beliefs. So this would be the adjective. Washington's leadership. Here, because of this apostrophe S, it's acting like an adjective. Whose leadership? Washington's leadership. Okay. All right, and then also indefinites. So here we have some indefinites that also answer the question how many, but they're not specific. The numbers tell you exactly how many. Indefinites, they don't. Some. How many is that? I don't know. It's indefinite. Many. How many is that? No. Well, that's none. But few. Several. Any. Those are all counted as adjectives. All right. So these here, these 2, D and E right here. I want you to highlight in yellow in D and E what are the adjectives. Right here in D and E. Just highlight in yellow what are the adjectives in D and E. I'll tell you in D that you should get 3. And in E, you should get 2. So D right here, what are the adjectives you've highlighted in yellow? These. Elected, few. In E, there's 2 adjectives. What are they? Those, the. There you go. Awesome possum. All right, diagram them. Up page 142. So when you diagram an adjective, you put it underneath the noun that it describes. So grab your yellow, your orange, and your blue, and I want you to highlight this here like this, all right? What we're adding are these adjectives that go underneath the nouns that they describe.
Which one's orange?
So which one is orange? What's the subject? Senators is a direct object, so this is orange, and president is orange because it's the subject. Yeah. I know, it's hard to see. Sorry about that. America's, notice that apostrophe S, but it is still describing president. First, the, many. All of these are adjectives describing these nouns. Let's do another one. All right, so let's look at this one in the middle of the page. All right, so here is the sentence right here. Caitlin, can you read this sentence right here for us, please?
James Madison's hard work produced a practical constitution.
All right, and then here it is diagrammed. I want you to color code it. Orange, blue, and your yellows. Can you see this guy okay? I want you to highlight just like I have here. Hang in there, we're coming to the end. Coming to the end of the grammar. All right. That is really light to see, isn't it? It is. So here's a very helpful tip for you guys. When you've got a sentence like this one here in the middle about James Madison, you've got a sentence like this, and Mrs. Me says, I want you to diagram it. And you don't have it written here on the paper. You got to come up with the diagram yourself. The first two things that you should look for to help you with that is the subject and the verb. If you can find these two things, then everything else will kind of fit into place around these. All right? Find the subject first, find the verb. What is that subject doing? Is it an action or is it linking? Are there helping words that go with that verb? Find that first. All right? And then everything else will kind of fall into place. So, for example, let's go to the practice. Yeah. Right here. So, for example, before you highlight in yellow, don't highlight it in yellow yet. Look at C. Laura Murphy, read that sentence, C, for us.
The Constitution's ratification demonstrated the politicians' ability to compromise.
That's a pretty big mouthful of a sentence. First, find the subject and the verb. What's the subject and the verb of that sentence?
Politician demonstrated. Well, actually, ratification demonstrated.
The ratification demonstrated. There's your subject. There is your verb. Okay. Once you find that, everything else kind of goes around that. All right. So the and constitutions, what are these? Adjectives. Let's highlight those in yellow. Those are adjectives. Okay. And is this, we have a verb demonstrated. Is it action or linking? Action. Is there a direct object? So the third question is, who or what is connected with this action verb? Demonstrated what? Ability, yeah. What would politicians be? We've got an apostrophe S here. It would be an adjective, so you highlight that in yellow. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So for letter C, what are the four adjectives you have highlighted? The constitutions. Politicians, there's one more. Another the. All right, letter D. What's the subject? What is the verb? Find that first. What's the subject of letter D? Name. What is the name doing? Appears. All right. Is it an action or is it a linking verb? Ooh, it's linking. What does that mean? There is no. Ooh, I just bumped into those chairs. If it's linking, what does that mean? There's no direct object. I bumped into them again. How did I do that twice? I totally just bumped into those chairs. All right, so in letter D, what are the adjectives? His. This is yellow right here. What else? Yellow. Yeah, those two are yellow. I think I can make them yellow. This is yellow. And this is yellow. All right. Okay. Is that all good? You ready to have fun with that this week? Yes. Yes. But this will really help. Find the subject, find the verb, then fit in the other stuff around it. All right? Close everything up. Take a couple minutes break, and we'll do some writing when you get back. You have to leave the room. You have to go out at least to go get some water. If you brought water, at least go out of the room and look out the window at the beautiful day that you're about to go out and enjoy. Don't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. Keep standing up. Do jumping jacks if you need to. Just kidding. But do keep standing up. You can if you want to. Yeah, just you can't sit down. You can't sit down yet. You have to stand up. Do some stretches. Do some yoga. Come and get one of these packets. You just need one packet. It goes in the writing notes section of your binder. Writing notes.
I would have to write that out.
Now you can sit down. All right, writing notes. These go in the writing notes section. The writing notes section. Clip those guys in. Welcome them to their new home. Here you go, guys. This is your new home, the writing notes section of my binder. You're going to have so much fun in there. So look for, do you have a piece of paper in your notebook? What did we call that, Zoe? What was the name of that? Writing reminders. Writing reminders. It was a sheet of notebook paper that we started a few weeks ago, writing reminders. Look for that. Writing reminders. What is one of the things? What's the first thing we have on that? The writing reminders.
Title.
What is it?
Title.
Title. All right, so when you're writing a title for an essay, we had some reminders for that, like Yeah, don't capitalize everything. We know that now. The little words you don't capitalize. We talked about it. We're pros at it. All right, what else do we have there for the title?
It's not a sentence.
Don't put a period. It's not a sentence, right? All right, what's the next thing we have?
Well, or so.
Don't begin a sentence with well or so. All right, is that the last thing we have?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're going to start a don't use these words when you're writing. All right, so let's make a circle and one of those. All right, probably, maybe, I don't know, your sheet of notebook paper, maybe 10 lines, 10 to 12 to 15 lines of your circle here. I'm sorry, I know, I'm like, wait, they're doing this on notebook paper. That's good, yeah. All right, so there are some words you should never use when you're writing. All right, we're going to add the first one today. Here it is. Thing. Don't use the word thing. It's not specific enough. It's banned. Don't use it. All right, so we're going to keep adding to this in the writing reminders, but we'll add them a little at a time so that you get used to not using them. All right, so this first one, thing. Bye-bye thing. It's a thing of the past. We can't use it anymore when we're writing. You can still say it. It's still a word. It's okay, but you can't write with it anymore. All right, it's not specific enough. All right, let's talk about this guy right here. Your 5 senses. All right, on the count of 3, I want you to tell me what the 5 senses are 3 times as fast as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good. It was kind of a mumbly sort of sound. That's good. Okay. All right, and so what do we have underneath? We have some words that can help get you started thinking about using these for descriptions. Using these for descriptions. So, for example, Jacob, give us an example of a taste description.
Bitter.
Yes. AC, do feel.
Bumpy.
Caitlin, looks.
Speckled.
Laura, smell.
Sweet.
Zoe, do sound.
Definitely.
Yes. Josh, do taste.
Salty.
Andrew, do feel.
Silky.
Laura, do looks.
Dotted.
Yes. Rose, smell.
Smoky.
And Isaac, do sound.
Quiet.
Quiet. Very good. So one of the things that you're going to start doing in your essays, in your writing, is you're going to start incorporating a 5 senses description. All right? And so you have some words to help you get started if you need. But you're very smart people. You can come up with these on your own as well. But these can help you get started if you're trying to figure out how to describe how something smells. Well, then see if these can help you get started with that. Or how something sounds. Maybe these can help you get started with that. Okay? Let's do a practice right now. Look at this guy. This guy. All right. So I'm looking at the side that has what looks like a concert. And this guy with a beard. And this triple-decker cheeseburger deluxe delicious thing looking here. If you like that. Maybe that doesn't look tasty to you. So here's what I want you to do, is I want you to write for each one 2 descriptions. 2 descriptions. That will include an adjective and it will include the noun. All right? If your noun is picture, then write picture if that's the noun you're using.
So like you'd write
Not a whole sentence, just an adjective and a noun. Just an adjective and a noun that relates to each of these pictures. If you want to write a whole sentence, you can, but you don't have to. But I want a noun, an adjective and a noun that relates to each of these. And I don't want them to all be, it looks like. All right? So you can have, it looks like and it sounds like. It tastes like and it feels like. Or it, well, what am I missing? It tastes like, feels like, sounds like, looks like. What's one I'm missing? Smells like. Just do 2 for each one.
So what was the first one? Look and sound.
Well, just look back at this. It could be any of those. Any of those that relates to the pictures. I mean, if you put yourself in that situation, you know, you can describe it from how it would seem to you if you were in that situation. Jacob.
Technically, couldn't some words be like, could be like the way it looks and tastes or something?
Yes. Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Do we have to say each one?
No, just do 2
Okay.
for each of these pictures on the front side. The front side. Wow, there's a back side. But we don't want to do the back yet. I want to hear what you have for the front. You can use the handout we just talked about to help get you thinking about these adjectives. All right, so for the first one up here, does someone have a taste like this first picture up here? Anybody got a taste? What about a feels? What about a looks? Who's got one that's a looks? AC, let's hear it.
Flashing lights.
Good. You had a looks?
We have beautiful lights.
Beautiful lights, yep. Who else had a looks for the top one? Josh.
Looks like a crazy rock concert.
Okay, good. Laura?
It looks bright.
Yes. Did anyone else have a looks for the top one? What about a smells? No smells. What about a sound? Let's hear a sound, Jacob.
Sounds amazing.
Okay, good. Caitlin.
Deafening room.
Yes, I
That was
love that
mine.
one.
I
That was
literally did
good.
exactly the same thing.
Who's got a sound? Rose, do you have a sound for this one?
Yeah.
You have deafening. Isaac, did you do a sound for this one?
Looks.
Okay, what is yours for look?
It looks like the same thing you did.
Okay,
When I was there before.
okay. Zoe, did you do a sounds for this one?
Shrill voices.
Yes, good. All right, what about this one in the middle? This fella, did anyone do a taste?
Frozen water.
Good, yeah, okay. Did anyone do a feels? Yeah, let's hear some feels. Andrew,
The beard feels rough.
good. Yeah, Josh?
Feels cold, I guess.
Yes, yes. Who else did a feels? Caitlin?
Soft snow.
Yes, good. You do a feels? No feels. Who else did a feels for this one in the middle?
Feels like
Okay. What about a looks? Did anyone do a looks on this one? Laura?
Icy conditions.
Good. Yep. What else? What about smells? Yes.
Fresh, crisp air.
Fresh, crisp air. Yep. Sounds. Do you do a sounds for this one? Yes.
Quiet.
Yes. All right, the bottom one. Did anyone do a taste for this one? All right, it could be an opinion here. Let's hear it. We'll go AC, Caitlin, Laura to Josh. And then anybody else do a taste? Let's hear it. Start us off, AC.
Delicious. delicious goodness.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Juicy burger.
Mhm.
Cheesy hamburger.
Mhm. Mhm. Josh.
Tastes amazing.
Yeah. Especially when we're hungry, right?
I'm hungry.
Who else? Did anyone else do a taste for this one? Anyone? What about a feels? We do a feels. Looks. Yeah. And then Jacob. Yeah.
Missy.
It does. Yes. Jacob.
Greasy.
Yes. Good. Anyone do a smells? Let's hear them. Let's hear the smells. Yeah. Good.
Fresh.
Yes.
Heaven in a food.
Yeah. Yes.
Salty.
Yes. These are great. Anyone do a sound? What could you do for a sound for this one? What about the person who is?
Sounds like a crunch or something.
It could be a crunch or the
Squish.
The-
Describe it.
the sound of chewing, something like that. All right, turn over on the back. Let's do 3 more. 3 more. Again, for each one, 2. And you want to do a different sense. Your 2. Don't do the same 2 for each picture. All right, do 2 different senses for each of those pictures that are on the back. I think they're just responding to like what the person is saying. So I guess in that way, I guess it could because they're listening to what the words are and it sounds fun. It's technically right. It just is not very descriptive, though, right?
It looks fun.
Right. Yes. It's just not very descriptive. That's an excellent point, though. Okay, the top, the Ferris wheel. Who's got a taste? Anybody got a taste? You got a taste for the Ferris wheel. Let's hear it, AC.
I mean, not really what the Ferris wheel makes me, but like fried food, like it just made me think about fried
It does make you think of the fair.
That's not
The
really
fair that
nutrition.
none of us can go to this fall. Sad, sad, sad.
They're
Here we
just
go.
boring. They get boring.
Taste. Anyone do a taste of the Ferris wheel? How do you imagine it would taste?
Metallic.
Metallic, metally. What else?
You can just taste all those germs
Rusty.
going down your tongue.
Hard, cold. What else? See, you can taste the Ferris wheel. Look at you guys tasting Ferris
Why
wheels.
is it tasting?
Tasted it.
Has anyone actually tasted the Ferris wheel?
But you can imagine, right? That takes some creativity. Feels. How does the Ferris wheel feel? We want to hear everybody. Who's got them? All right.
Happy.
Yeah, good. Did you have your hand up for that one, Jacob? Yeah. Okay, Laura.
Excitement in the air.
Excitement in the air. Looks. Let's hear them. Looks.
Small.
It does. It does, and this one does it.
Looks.
Who else?
Exciting.
Exciting. Good.
Bright.
Bright.
Large.
Mesmerizing. What a good adjective. Yes. What else? Large. Okay. Smells. What if you sat down after somebody else? How might that smell? Smoky. Sour. Sweet. What if they were wearing perfume? I don't know. What? Fresh. You hope.
I'm being optimistic.
Probably not.
I don't know. I'm being optimistic.
Sounds.
Noisy.
Noisy. Yes.
Creaky.
Creaky.
Like carnival music.
Carnival-y, music-y. Yes. Works. Totally.
Thrill shouts.
Shouts. Thrills and shouts.
Thrill shouts.
Yes. All right. What about this middle picture here? This guy is not having a good day. I would not want his job. Hanging out with you guys on Wednesday afternoons is a lot more fun than this guy's job right here. All right, taste.
They said they put garbage in.
It tastes
Garbage, yeah. Did you do taste?
decaying water.
Okay. Yep.
Kind of like yucky ones.
It is, but it works. Anyone else do taste?
Delicious.
Probably.
Feels. Just start calling them out.
Feels
Squishy
weird.
trash.
Weird, trashy,
Sick.
sick,
Heavily polluted.
squishy, heavily polluted. What about it looks?
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Polluted.
Polluted, yes. Smells.
Bad.
Rotten.
Rotten. Bad. Rancid. Sounds.
Squishy steps.
Squishy. Splashy.
I'm getting a great mental imagery, guys.
I know that. Then it would sound like screaming. Yeah. What about the desert? The bottom one. All right. Taste.
Sandy.
Just call them out.
Sandy.
Sandy.
Dry.
Dry.
Crunchy sand.
Itchy. Did you say itchy?
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Yes. Good. Feels.
Dry.
Dry.
Excruciatingly.
Excruciatingly hot. Yes.
Unbearably.
Unbearably hot.
Bad.
Yes. How does it look?
Dry.
Inviting.
Very
Dry,
hot.
inviting. Yes.
Harsh.
Harsh. Barren. Empty.
Looks pretty warm.
Yes, it could.
Inhospitable.
Inhospitable. Yes.
Endless.
Lifeless. Is that what you said?
Endless.
Endless. Endless. Good. How does it sound?
Dry.
Silent.
Silent.
Windy.
Windy. All right, very good. All right, the last thing we want to take a look at is your writing assignment. So it should be clipped in. I gave you this one so that we could just talk about it. Let's see, let me go back to here. Let's take a look at it. All right, so it is here in the folder should you lose it and be like, oh no, what was I supposed to do? All right, so this is going to be due Monday. All right, favorite season. All right, it's an easy 5-paragraph essay start. So the first thing you do is you need to pick your favorite season and you'll need to fill in this little box plan. So each of these boxes is a main aspect, a main characteristic, quality of your favorite season. And then underneath each of those, you need to have some details. So you want your main characteristics here to be big enough that you can write a whole paragraph about it. Don't pick something that's really, really small that you're like, wow, how in the world am I going to write 3 or 4 sentences about this? All right, so make sure that you pick broad enough main aspects that you can get some details about it. All right? And then look what's back, the intro paragraph. Here it is. This is a reminder, but this is the start of your essay. So you have an intro sentence. Remember, use a hook. You've got the hook fish. You've got that in your binder right there. Find an interesting way to hook your reader in. And you've got your thesis. This is where you answer what is your favorite season, and you introduce your main 3 aspects. That is what the intro paragraph does. All right, and then you keep on writing, people. You're going to keep on trucking on this one. So 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph needs to have a topic sentence with a transition. What's a transition?
Transition is
Like,
However,
however,
Although,
although,
As a result of.
yes, as a result of. What about when you're introducing your 3 first, second, third?
or finally.
Finally, yes. All right, so you'll want a topic sentence. Introduce. The first reason that winter is my favorite season is, and you introduce it. Then you're going to write more about why that's your favorite, why that aspect right here makes for your favorite season. You introduce it, and then here is where this is your paragraph right here. This is your topic sentence. These are your details. Okay? All right. You need to have 2 of your 5 senses to describe 2 somethings. The seasons are fantastic for this. So you think about smells, tastes, looks. All right. So each of these body paragraphs, you need to have 2 of your 5 senses in each one. This is a checklist for each of those paragraphs. So this is 1 paragraph here. This is 1 paragraph here. And this is 1 paragraph here. All right. Does that make sense? Okay, hold on. Let me get to the end. And then you have a closing paragraph. This is the 5th one. In your last 5th closing paragraph, you need to restate your 3 favorite aspects. That's going to be this, this, this. And you restate it in a different way. You don't copy exactly what you said in the intro. All right, so you restate in a different way your 3 main aspects for your favorite season. And then you need to include a statement of a strong feeling or thought. This is your personal strong feeling or thought statement. Okay? All right, just to make sure, how many paragraphs is this essay? 5. What is the first paragraph? Intro. It should look like this. What is the second paragraph? It's this one right here. Your first main reason you like that season. What's the third paragraph? It's right here. What's the 4th paragraph? It's right here. What's the last 5th paragraph? The closing. All right. This, I need to see your box plan and the essay. Both are due. So if you do this box plan on the computer, fine. All right. If you write that out yourself on a separate sheet of paper, I need to see both. The box plan and the essay, not just the essay. All right? All right. I'll come to you guys for questions. You guys have done fantastic today. If you have any questions when you're starting to work, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. Awesome class today. You guys did a good job. Okay. Are you allowed to use what? Use I and you. Yeah. Thanks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Until we talk about it, it doesn't matter. All right?
thank you.
You're welcome. You guys did a great job today. Jacob, when we start talking about MLA format in January, then we get picky about things like that. But until then, it's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Mrs.
You're welcome, Zoe. Have a wonderful afternoon.